Now if I really need to connect to, then I need to provide 1025, and then I open it. One zero two five. I may require a few more settings somewhere, I think. But at least you now know that if you just make a change in the configuration, basically it does not allow you to, you know, connect to the default port. You can anytime, because that is completely software concept. Now I need to check the network connection timed out, because the 192 168 56 131. I may need it. I may need to restart what. Let me just try to ping. Ping will work. Leave it. So let me just get back to the original one. If I comment it out, by default it should be port number 22. Port number 22. Where it's running. Maybe we need to remove the cache, because when we tried for a few times, basically it is cached. This particular IP address and this port is cached, and that's why it could not connect. But we will see that later. I mean, this is like kind of a troubleshooting things, okay, Lord, because it is expected to be connected, but then it is not getting connected. Then you need to find out the reason behind it. Okay. So we have seen, I mean, what is SSD now. Now, how to install anything on Linux, basically. Okay. So you will need to know sudo yum install. Now this, we need to understand few of the things of installation part of Linux. So when we talk about Windows, basically, and we need to install something on Windows, so I will just go on Google and try to search it. Okay, I need to, let's say, some video software. Okay, so I need to find it out. Okay, so play some .mkv files, so mkv player or some avi player. Okay, I need to go search on it, and then I will get some kind of .exe. I will get the .exe on my desktop and then double click on it. Then the actual software will be installed, or you can say downloaded from the thing. So that .exe, if you will see, earlier in very earlier, like 5 or 10 years before, basically, I'm not sure about the timelines basically, but that time the whole software will be downloaded first, and then if you double click on it, the whole software is already available to your system to get installed. Nowadays what will happen is basically you will get .exe. The .exe will have some more information about, let's say, if it is a torrent or if it is something else that will have the URL information within it. And when you double click on it, because if you just try to check the size of that .exe, it would be some KBs. Okay, earlier it used to be around MBs. That is the actual overall software size. Currently it is not like that in Windows even. So you need to just download it, the .exe, it with some few KBs that will have the further information of what are all the URLs from where you need to download all the plugins and everything for that software. When you double click on it, then actual things will be started getting downloaded and simultaneously getting installed on your system. Linux also in the same path or same way basically does the kind of installation. So let me connect. Okay, sorry. So let me connect. Now when you talk about Linux, basically there are tons of commands. Okay, so there is no, I mean, even it's like kind of ocean. Okay, so you are not expecting it to get, kind of master in very short time. You really need to spend some time, but I will try to help you to get as much basics as required, to go ahead with this. On the top of it, basically there is a bash scripting language. So just like the CL language, right? So CL is uh, CL language is just like kind of all the commands that you are running on OS 400, right? So you can just create a program of that CL, or it means that OS 400 commands, and do a lot of things with it. Similarly, all the Linux command you can create a program around it. It will also support some loops, some decision making. Even the CL is also supporting the similar like that, right? So to install, there are few things that you need to installation in. Sorry. Linux installation. So we do have one thing called .rpm. Then we do have one thing called yum. And then we do have one thing called, okay, so these two things first, let's understand. Give me 1 second. Hello? Hello? Class or class? So this is something called a Red Hat Package Manager. PACKET Packet Manager. And yum is called Yellow Dog Update Manager. So these are two very basic things about the installation part of Linux. So what will happen is, suppose, so we will start with yum. This is the important thing. So basically on Windows, what will happen is basically there is a Windows installer, okay, that none of us have ever seen, okay, but we know that it is existing and it behaves like a kind of installer. Just like, let's say this putty.exe, right? So basically if it would have been a kind of installer, I mean it would have been a kind of, just like this is background, right? It is telling you that this is something installable. If I double click on it, it will be installed on my system, right? Because it is called Microsoft installer image or Microsoft installer extension. It is there, it is associated with MSI. MSI means Microsoft installer or Microsoft installed something. So installer package basically tells you Windows installer. So when you double click on it, there must be some software or there must be some service on your Windows that will actually take care of the installation of this particular software, and that something is called Windows installer. Okay, so behind every installation of Windows there should be one, or there is one in Windows installer. The version might be changing from here to there, and then it will be like coming up with more and more features. But basically there is some basic installer available on every Windows machine that will help you to install the softwares on your system. So that installer here in case of Linux basically is called yum. 1 second, give me 1 second. हेलो. हाँ क्लास. तो दूँ क्या ब्रेक? ठीक है, तो डिस्कशन चालू करो, मेरे को कॉन्फ्रेंस मिले. ठीक. मतलब देख के ना नहीं हो, अपन फ़ोन पे कर लेते हैं. ठीक है. So it's 10 minutes or one. Okay, so We will take some early break. Currently, one thing. Let me stop the recording.